What's up, guys? Welcome back to Ballin' with the Boys. Yeah, we're shooting a video way later than expected, but as you can see, we updated the studio. Congrats to my boy Justin, our cameraman Brady, for all the hard work that they put on it. But as you know, we're here and we're going to talk about the XFL Week 3 recap. Justin, what you got on that Sea Dragons and Vipers game?
Yeah, I mean, the Sea Dragons, they had a rough start to that game. Beginning the kickoff, they dropped and rolled out of the bounds by the Sea Dragons kick returners. So Danucci also wasn't looking very good at the start of the game, but by the end of it, him and Josh Gordon actually made it look like one good play, or one good run. Jesus, can't talk today.
Yeah, and once again, the Vipers, look good in the beginning, but they just can't close out a game, and that's why they are currently 0-3.
I mean, Brett Hundley, since he's been starting for the Vipers, has still been looking really good, but they just can't come away with the win.
No, they can't. Back when you were talking about Danucci and Josh Gordon, dude, Josh Gordon's toe tapping was crazy in that game.
Yeah, I mean, he had his feet on point. I don't know what was going on with him in that game, but he's lucky that I did find out you don't have to worry about the ped test. The XFL doesn't do that, so he's safe.
I did see that he said if Cleveland would call, though, that he'd definitely go. So might want to make sure he ain't doing nothing that he did before. It's in the past. Leave it in the past, Josh, all right? You're trying to make it to the NFL, so make sure you're straight.
Hey, I mean that he's been in and out of the NFL 2 or 3 times already. I doubt the NFL calls him back, but hey, maybe we'll see.
I don't know. Yeah, we'll see. And then you were talking about Danucci and Josh Gordon, clicking a lot in that game. But did you see the running back, Morgan? I think it's Ellison or Ellison. I'm not too sure how to really pronounce your last name, so my fault if I got it wrong or right. But he went 15 for 113 yards.
Wow. Yeah, that's a pretty good run game for him, especially considering the success that they had in the air as well.
Dude was like a trucking machine that game. He wasn't scared to get low.
Yeah, he was running through anybody that was in his way, really. I mean, he wasn't really trying too many other moves besides trucking. It was like all he knew. Like, I'm gonna run straight through this dude if get up out my way.
Right. Next game, we had a little fight this next game. If you guys didn't watch it, if so, you can check it out on probably YouTube. But it's the DC Defenders and the Battlehawks.
Yeah,
let's talk about that game.
It's almost like the XFL's got their first little rivalry brewing, almost maybe, with that fight breaking out, and then I think tension kind of just grew throughout that game,
Oh yeah, I think tension was like in the middle of that game, really. So, Defenders, they came out strong, and they came out pretty strong in that game.
Yeah, they definitely opened really well. The Battlehawks, I think, on the other side, it looks like their O-line's improving a little bit. In the passing game, they got going after the first pick that McCarron threw, and so they almost had that kickoff return to open the half as well.
I did see that. Yeah.
The Battlehawks didn't look terrible.
I think they said something about that was like one of their or the longest kick return they've had so far.
I believe so. Yep, I heard that as well. The Defenders on the other side of the ball really living up to the name. Number 15 for them, I forget his name, but he's got his second touchdown this year and a third pick, I believe. But he got a pick 6 in that game off McCarron. So,
yeah, dude, I remember watching that and them talking about how he's been a pretty good defensive back for the Defenders. So, I mean, he might, if they do awards like the NFL, like Defensive Player of the Year, I would say that he would definitely be in that top runner position.
Yeah, I was actually kind of surprised for that game, though, because when we seen it open up, we seen the Defenders open up with good passing plays.
Oh, dude, that deep pass?
Which was almost like, that was crazy for me to see, because the past 2 weeks, all we've been saying is like, yeah, the Defenders' run game is like great. Like, they got a really good run game, even out of their quarterbacks. But we haven't seen any of their quarterbacks actually do too well in the passing game. Tamu, I think, actually came out and did pretty decent that game.
Oh yeah, for sure. Speaking of like that passing game, because right after that deep pass that we was just talking about, the tight end scored the touchdown and then also scored the 2-point conversion as well.
Yep. The tight end Wolf. I don't know his first name, but
I
yeah,
believe
he
it's
went
Ethan.
directly back to him.
Yeah, so Ethan Wolf kind of had a good game for himself, getting out there more. So tight ends are starting to become more of a thing for quarterbacks.
Yeah, it seems like the tight ends in the league are really taking over touchdown territory almost. Whenever you're already playing within the red zone, it seems like a lot of the team's ideology is to target the tight ends because they're the biggest and they're gonna just wrestle for the ball.
Right. And then if you guys remember last video that I was talking about AJ McCarron becoming like that comeback kid, yeah, never mind.
Yeah, I mean, he did try to set up for that miraculous comeback.
He was on
with
his way
30
there.
seconds left, man. I mean, he was.
He was on his
threw
way
a
there.
long bomb, and that ball was actually kind of on target, but the defender came out of nowhere lurking and intercepted it.
Well, I mean, it's not just that either. The Battlehawks defense couldn't stop the defender's offense from scoring.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know exactly what happened to their defense that game. We'd seen it like a pretty, I would say, average-looking defense. You know, they didn't make too many mistakes in their past couple games, but the defenders their offense was unstoppable almost against them.
Right. Let's get into that next game where it was the Guardians and Renegades. As you guys know, the Guardians have been having trouble like since the beginning of the XFL.
Yeah.
So
I mean,
first thing I gotta say is that I've seen in this game, their run game is just terrible.
You know, that's funny that you say that because that is literally my exact first note for the game is run game terrible.
Like
And
word
then
for word?
even-
Hang on, like word for word?
Yeah, word for word. Run
Bro, no joke, I
game
got it.
terrible.
I got it saying right here is the same thing. Run game terrible.
That's funny. Right next to it, I go a little further in depth though. I go Jermaine Martin, number 30, because that man had 2 fumbles in that game that really could have altered the game. I mean, there were several plays since it was only 9-10 that could have changed that game. But, man, it was really just bad all around on the offenses.
Well, back to the fumbles you were talking about. There is a certain fumble I want to talk about where the defense didn't even cause the fumble. He ran into his own player, and his own player knocked it out of his hand.
Yeah, I had a specific note about that. The Guardian running back fumbled because of his own teammate. And, I mean, it's one thing for, like, it's kind of on his own teammate because, like, well, what's this dude doing? Like, flying his hands everywhere. But at the same time, where's your ball security, dude? You are a running back.
So that's what I kind of got. It wasn't ball security, but I was like, dude, awareness. Like, awareness is key when you're running the ball. You got to be aware of what's around you and how you're about to run with this ball. Clearly, he was just like, I'm going to just fly all over the place.
Yeah, I mean, while the offense didn't look good, the defense looked all right on the line, I would say, for the most part.
I would say the offense, yes, majority did not look good, but their passing game is what was working for them in that game. Granted, it was kind of a low-scoring game.
Yeah.
Their passing game was what was working for them other than their run game. I mean,
I don't know if I would say it was necessarily working. I would say more so Lynch turned into Superman in the 4th. But, I mean, as soon as Lynch turned into Superman in the 4th, Smith for the Renegades turned into Kryptonite into the 4th because he came right back and answered and with another score to win the game for him. So
I would say that for the Guardians and their passing game with Lynch, Dedrick Thomas, he's a good wide receiver. One of the plays I seen, he was breaking ankles and then he was breaking tackles too. Like the dude was just not stopping. So I was like, that would be my main target. Sorry. But clearly the dude has heart for this game and he just will not give up. Even though you're playing on you know how some people would be like, man, this team's trash. I'm going to just give up. I don't want to play with them no more. This dude's like, I'm here chasing the dream. So I'm going to play my heart out and, I mean, maybe get called up, maybe not, play another season. Well, if there's another season, but...
yeah, don't get ahead of yourself. We ain't even checked the viewership.
Another thing is that the Renegades almost really gave the Guardians their first win.
Yeah, I mean,
you do not want to be that team right now.
They almost did, and I mean, if you ask me, the only reason that they didn't is because their defense looked monstrous as usual. They have 8 takeaways after week 3. within 3 games. Like, that is crazy.
Yeah. Well, keep in mind, too, that for how close that game was, Lynch is the third-string quarterback for that team.
Yeah, I mean, they kind of went through their first 2 really quickly and decided never mind with those 2, though. So I'd almost say he's been promoted to first string.
Gotcha. So this next game, guys, honestly, I am upset, but dude, I can't be like more hyped about this other team because this team is like championship made. I don't know what it is, but they're like championship made. But you know, I told you in the beginning, I'm sticking with the Brahma Bulls. So it was the Brahma Bulls and Roughnecks, though, and yeah, the Brahma Bulls did not come out with that dub, sadly. So what you got about this game, though?
The Bulls got roughnecked. The Brahma Bulls got roughnecked. 13-22. I mean, Balaj came out looking decent for the first week. That was okay for your team, I would say. But man, the Roughnecks, you can't beat them. Silvers is doing good on the 10-yard checkdowns every time he throws one,
Right.
which is all you need for the first down. Borgie is a dog, man. 22, that's McCaffrey under the jersey. Like, they got to check next week. I'm not kidding, bro. There's no way.
I do got that. The defense won that game, though. The defense stopped the Brahma Bulls from scoring any more points.
Yeah, I mean, their defense did, but you cannot discredit
No.
offense for
Offense
how
had
they look.
definitely their fair share in there.
And one more player I got to talk about is Kirkland, their wide receiver for the Roughnecks. I don't know if you've seen it, but he's out there mossing dudes.
Oh, dude, I seen that. I actually have that in my notes where I'm like, dude, get this guy on You Got Mossed.
Yeah, no kidding.
Oh, my God. But, yeah, Kirkland is an amazing wide receiver. Straight stud. Silver's, like, #1 target for sure. And then, like you said, Borgie, dude's also another trucking machine. He's just going. Wheels turning, not stopping.
Even when they threw their backup running back in there, I think his last name's Elling or something along the lines of that. I only heard it. I didn't see it on the broadcast at all. But he seemed like he was a dog, too. Every time they put him in, he was getting more than 10 yards on every single pass play that was given to him.
Dude, that whole offense is just, like I said, just championship made. There's just no way they don't go. And if they don't go, then your whole team must be injured. Because I'm sorry, but that team is just stars all around, honestly.
Yeah.
Is what I'm just trying to say. But back to when we were talking about the running backs. We can't leave out that offensive line is not having a big part of them having a great game.
Yeah, I mean, they're holding their end up 100%, and it seems like their offensive line's probably one of the only ones in the league that are doing so as of right now. But they're clicking on all cylinders as far as their offense goes and their defense, if you ask me.
Most definitely. Did you see what Silver's almost threw for?
No, I did not.
Silver's almost threw for 300 yards. Jeez. He passed for 278 yards.
That's crazy because, like, nowadays, half the quarterbacks in the NFL barely reach 300. They have high 200 games.
Yeah. But with that game, dude, like I said, I'm a Brahma Bulls fan. I'm going to stay the Brahma Bulls fan till the end of the XFL. So hopefully they learn from this loss and figure something out because they're not doing the best right now. Roughnecks, keep doing your thing for sure. Because you guys are well on your way to that, what is it called? The big championship game or
the $1 million
championship game?
I don't know if that's what it's called now that it's brought back. But, I mean, yeah, whatever the championship game is called now, we're going to have to look that up.
Yeah. Justin, you got any other notes about today's video?
A couple other things that happened, that I had noted for this week. The St. Louis Battlehawks had such high demand for tickets that they actually they're selling a certain section as season tickets.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I mean that's a good sign for the league. That this thing might actually persist if they have so many fans that they're starting to break down season tickets for this thing. Yeah. That's a commitment. But a couple other things, Kalen Ballage, like I said, he was actually on top with 100-plus yards rushing over the season, I believe, as far as the first 2 weeks went. So him having that good week 3 game, there we go, helped him out there. The defenders have 3 of the top 5 rushing leaders, one being Jordan Ta'amu, which is why I was talking about it was surprising that they started with really good passing attacks.
Yeah.
And then, of course, since we was just talking about the Roughnecks are first in sacks, tackles for losses, and interceptions so far, and they're second in total points allowed and yards allowed a game.
That's crazy. But back to when you were talking about selling season tickets. Speaking of selling, I recently did just see Dick's Sporting Goods, who we do not sponsor at the time, but Dick's Sporting Goods is starting to sell XFL merchandise. So if you guys have a favorite team like I do right now, you go to Dick's and you guys can definitely pick up some merchandise from them.
You know, that's crazy. I didn't know that. But the only reason I didn't know that is because I've been checking the XFL.com religiously to see when they release them on there. And so far, I have not seen them.
Huh.
So XFL.com better get on their stuff since Dick's already has it.
And again, Dick's, you guys do not sponsor us, but I mean, hear your boys out. We want that merch too. No, I'm just kidding, but maybe not.
Maybe not. You could look into it if you want.
Right. Guys, as we're gonna wrap up our XFL week 3 week. My fault. Let me rephrase that. Week 3 recap. Make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel, as we are going to have 2 more videos coming up soon, as we are going to start bringing in the NFL, because there's a lot of stuff going on during the NFL. My boy Deion Sanders is tired, from defending all them, so we're going to leave him down.
Hey, I told you he was going to be down by the end of the video.
But like I said, there's a lot of stuff going on with the NFL, so we got a video of the Combine, trade talks coming up. And, of course, we're going to have our Week 4 XFL recap. So make sure to like and subscribe to the YouTube channel. And Justin's going to close us out with all our social medias.
Make sure you check in with us at Ballin' with the Boys on Instagram, TikTok, and Facebook. Like the page, follow the TikTok, and follow us on Instagram to stay tuned with all of our videos that are coming up within the next week or 2 and further on.
I do got one more thing to say, though. Guys, I believe I did the math right. If I did it wrong, don't worry.
He's not a mathematician, so we'll see. Let's go.
No, I'm not. But I believe 5 months, fantasy starts happening again, usually in August. Fantasy's about to come back up.
All right, math adds up. Yeah, you guys better listen in and tune into the new news that we're about to spit at you guys.
Yep, I'm ready for Fantasy League, and if you guys are too, as you always know, keep balling.
Ballin'.